Hello, my name is Andrew. You can call me Cookies, and let's go ahead and talk about healing on Mythic Eye of the Jailer. So, honestly, this fight is very straightforward, so I'll keep this as simple as possible. Um, in the first phase, the primary thing that you need to watch out for is just making sure that the raid stays nice and healthy and topped off during this right here, the chains. You can see a lot of people taking random damage in the raid. This is because the chains does damage itself, like pulling people, and then also while the chains are going out, the boss is randomly targeting players and just zapping them. So you basically just want to make sure that everyone's full HP. So I would say the chains is the best time to use one or the other of either damage reduction cooldowns or like throughput cooldowns, depending on what you want and depending on what you have for the intermissions. Because the next part that I'm going to go over is the most important part, which is the intermission right here. So the intermission is going to be the most healing intensive part of the fight, especially based on the strategy you're doing. So this can vary how difficult the healing is. But either way, this is the only phase throughout the fight that actually matters. The boss damage, the healing during like the phases outside of these intermissions is not nearly as important as having everyone survive and get through these intermissions, because that the boss will just literally naturally fall over as long as you can survive and keep everybody alive through this right here. So all you really need to watch out for here is um, people who have obviously high stacks, like here they're going to 5, they're probably going to go to a 6 stack here as they're running over. So if like here, when you switch sides, if you're doing the strategy where you switch sides, then it's going to be very important to heal anyone who has more than 5 stacks or got a refresh. So say you leave when you're at 4 stacks and then people's 4 stacks drop off, but then someone gets a 5th stack. You want to keep them really topped off because they're going to be taking a lot of damage while everyone else resets. So, um, and then other than that, the only other thing that's really important is while you're doing this, whoever gets targeted by the Deathseeker beam, you want to make sure that you have them like full HP. So I would definitely track that on the frames, just because it can hurt a lot. And I think also people who drop pools on the floor, they will take some damage. Like you can see that guy right there had the beam. It was the tank. I believe it was the tank, maybe not. Um, but people who also drop the pools on the floor, I'm pretty sure they take like 1 tick of the pool damage, so it's important to heal them as well. So basically, just watch who gets debuffed, and because if they have overlapping debuffs and are taking the damage, just the passive like dot damage from the debuff that the eyes give off, then obviously it's gonna get pretty nasty pretty quick, and people can kind of just get one shot if you're not watching them. Here's the chains, and this is where you'll see the rages start taking much random damage. So the monk's casting Essence Font, that's really good. And then the last part of the fight that's really important, I guess I should mention also the, oh man, what is it called? Now I'm going to have to see it. It is the, let's go ahead and find it. It'll be during the intermission, so hopefully we can find it in here. There it is. It's this right here, the raid damage. I'm trying to see what the ability's called. I don't remember off the top of my head. Titanic Death Gaze, that's what it is. So Titanic Death Gaze, I usually put a countdown for this. I think it's in my Bigwigs video. And what it'll do is count down and then count down again right here because the raid damage is about to happen. But if you have like a weak aura package like this is good too. But this raid damage that happens can be pretty nasty, especially again if people have overlapping mechanics of other things going on. And then the end of the fight, when you get done with the 2 intermissions, the boss is going to start casting, instead of Titanic Death Gaze, he's going to start casting this right here, which is something extermination, immediate extermination. And what this does is stack a healing decrease debuff on everyone in the raid, so every cast will do 10%. So you can see right now that everyone's at 4 stacks. So the raid is taking 40% reduced healing. So basically what this means is I would pretty much focus a lot on damage and just let healing cooldowns kind of get you through this, for the most part. So most healers should just be pressing healing cooldowns and then DPSing the boss really hard, because once you're up here to like 7 stacks, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be able to keep certain people alive. So it's better to just blast the boss and kill it as fast as possible. That way you're not in a situation where the raid's wiping, even though you're keeping them healthy, because eventually, you just can't heal them anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Mythic Eye. It's more of like an execution fight than, like a healing or damage check. So just get through those intermissions cleanly and keep everybody alive during those. Watch who has debuffs and be aware of that stuff, and you'll get through it just fine. So thanks for watching.